this video I will explain and show you why you should use a reverse osmosis when running a automated waterfall system, because reverse osmosis is one of the best tools to remove lime from the house tap water. And as you maybe know, lime is one of the biggest problems you can face when creating water features, because it not only makes your water feature ugly, it can also damage surfaces, it can cause water damages, and it's the #1 reason why pumps get killed. Because if a pump has to deal with lime, after a short period of time it simply won't continue pumping, and manufacturers generally do not accept lime damages within the guarantee. So if you have a new water feature and you don't take care of calcification, it might happen that after 3 or 4 months your pump is dead and you will have to buy a new one because you have no warranty on the pump, because the damage is caused by lime and calcification. So it's very important to avoid calcification, and in my opinion the best way is to use a reverse osmosis, which is symbolized here as this green box. So this is the house tap water. So the dirty water, the full of lime water from the house, would go through the reverse osmosis, and the reverse osmosis then would clean the water from the lime and let the clean water enter the waterfall system through a swimming valve, and the water which could not pass the filter because it's simply too dirty, actually it's wastewater, would go to the drain. So here in this picture I want to show you the basic setup of a reverse osmosis. So here you have the tap water, which is dirty. It goes inside the reverse osmosis here. Then the water will be pre-cleaned through those 3 pre-filters. And after they have been passed, the water has to pass this membrane. And this membrane is such a strong filter that it does not allow all of the water to pass through. And the water which cannot pass through will be redirected to the drain, which is this connection. This is here a permeate pump, which is increasing increasing and optimizing the ratio between wastewater and pure water. So if you use such a permeate pump, your ratio would be like 1 liter pure water and 1 to 2 liters wastewater. Please note that you need such a compensation tank for such a permeate pump to work, so that you have this good ratio from 1 to 1 or 1 to 2 pure water and wastewater. So this is the basic setup of the reverse osmosis, and when the water comes out of the system, it would be directed to the swimming valve, which you can see here, which regulates the water level inside the water tank. So if this would be the water level, as soon as it sinks, then this valve will open and refill the tank so that the pump does not run dry. So you can see the valve is symbolized here. And what I would recommend, if you use such a automated filling system with a valve, always install a security overflow, which means that if this valve does not close because it's damaged or dirty or whatever, or maybe, it can happen that one of the cables or somebody throws something into the tank, etc., etc. So there's a couple of possibilities why this valve won't close or won't work. So if it does not work, then your system would fill and fill and fill without stopping, which would cause a overflow of your tank, and this would lead to a water damage. And to avoid such water damages, you also need a security overflow inside your system, which would drive the water into the drain instead of outside the tank in case of your swimming valve is broken or does not work properly. And here you can also see that the reverse osmosis has also a connection to the drain, which is necessary to remove the wastewater, which is always produced when pure water is generated, as I have described a few minutes ago. What you can see here is reverse osmosis, which has been a few well, I don't know, maybe a few months in use, and you can see here in the first pre-filter that it's already getting brown, and this shows how dirty the water is which is coming out of the tap. So it's really good to have a reverse osmosis, not only because of the lime which is removed from the tap water, but also from all the other bacteria and germs and pollutions which are usually in a house tap water. But don't forget that this is only cleaning the water before it comes inside the system. So when the water is inside your waterfall, you will still have to take precautions or actions to avoid germination and bacteria and algae, because the reverse osmosis is only cleaning the water before it gets into the system. But once the water is in the system circulating and removing dirt from the air, it can get dirty and algae and germs can grow. So you would also need to do something against that, but this is something I will explain in another video. So I hope this was beneficial for you. So now you understand why you should use a reverse osmosis when running a waterfall, because it removes the lime. But in order to run a reverse osmosis, you will need also a connection to the drain. As you can see, it is not so much space consuming. Usually you can really work with small spaces to get such a reverse osmosis stored. So and maybe just one more last tip on that: if you're not able to connect the reverse osmosis directly with your waterfall system, what you still can do is let the reverse osmosis produce the pure water inside another tank, which you then can use for refilling purposes. So if you do not have an automated system, I would still recommend to use a reverse osmosis for producing lime-free water, and then let the reverse osmosis produce it in a storage tank where you can take it off anytime you need it to refill your waterfall system. So that's a short overview. If you want to learn how to automize your system and what kinds of different reverse osmosis systems you might need and tips and tricks on that, I would be happy if you register at www.wawazen.net, our waterfall school, and hope to see you soon there. Thank you. Bye bye.